So this is what I'm kind of dealing with. The mud Dynamark I redid a few years ago, and everything has been peachy with it. No issues really. But at like Tecumseh trails out with the Off-Road Ohio boys, these swamp lights, for what these are, for how much tread these things have, they actually hook super well, and I've surprised a lot of people with where I can go with them. But like the big first main hill, I had to get helped up, and a couple other real slick spots and some holes I've had to get helped out in the past. And I thought it was pretty much time to give the old girl a nice service and upgrade the tires. So we decided to go with some swamp witches on the back. These are 24 by 8 by 12s. The swamp witches are 24 by 1110. These are actually the wheels that were on the wheel horse, the Sears Killer. I decided to put some rock rings on there. They're made out of 3/16 aluminum. And for the front, I decided to go with some Sun F tires. They're 19 by 7 by 8s. And my biggest issue that I'm going to have is I'm going to have to make these 8-inch front rims match the rears. So I have some 12 gauge steel that I'm going to be cutting out as close to a pattern as that as I can. And then I also got some 4-bolt hubs for the back, and maybe we'll do a color change before Haspin. We'll see. I'm already kind of over my head. Already over my head in what I got to get done, but we'll see. With a little bit of work with this Zenny Cut 50 I got off Amazon for what, 200 bucks or so, and struggling with the electricity in the garage. I can't really run it that long with the air compressor, nor can I run it at full capacity because there's only a 20 amp breaker running this whole entire garage. But we got two 12 gauge steel circles cut out perfectly for our 8-inch wheels. I'm gonna get the vinyl cutter going and cut out the pattern on the vinyl cutter, lay it on there, and then I'll mark it and start cutting them both out, and then hopefully I'll have matching front wheels to my back ones. Would you just look at that transformation just with a set of wheels and tires. So we went a lot bigger. We got 19s on the front now, and well, we actually still got 24s on the rear, but they are 11 inches wide as opposed to these 8-inch wides. I'm a little bit worried because these are very conservative tread and width and weight, and these swamp witches are definitely an upgrade in depth, weight, and width. So there's going to be a lot more stress on that rear axle. And we went with these Sun F front tires and matching. I tried to match them as good as possible. Those are 10-inch rear wheels and 8-inch front rims, so it's a little bit difficult to get them to be exactly the same. But yeah, so I'm working on the front bumper right now. With it sagging down because it's not tight, the tire hits it really bad. But if I jack it up where it's supposed to be, excuse me, if I jack it up where it's supposed to be, it no longer hits. So I think I might just keep this bumper, but I'm obviously going to actually tighten up my bolts so it doesn't sag, and then I'll just go in here with the grinder and cut an angle onto that and cap it off, so if it does drop down, it won't slice the tire. It'll just hopefully just stop it, and I'll have to readjust the front bumper. So the steering has seen a lot better days on the Mud Dynamark. As let's see if we can. There's all that play, and then there's all that play. So I mean, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but the axle's caved in and my weld's cracked there. Well, actually my weld isn't cracked, the frame itself is cracked. And along with the side over here, it is also dented in. So instead of taking the time to redo this whole front axle before Haspin, I just greased up my spindles, and I will adjust my toe a little bit, and then we'll be good, because there's no point in me redoing the whole entire front end before Haspin. So I'll beat the crap on it and make it even more loose, and then I'll tear it back apart and build a whole custom front axle. And I've been sick for the past 3 weeks, and it's really hard to breathe, so making these videos is a little bit difficult for me right now, so bear with me. But I have the old mufflers off the Dynamark in my hand, and these actually led a few people to believe that there was a cam in the Mud Dynamark, and sadly enough there is not. I don't know what's with it with these tiny little mufflers, but the way I had the throttle hooked up and the rev range, it did sound like it had a nasty cam in it. But so I'll show you what I did, and probably no longer any potential cam noises. So I came off the header. The muffler used to be on there right like that, so I just came down with a tube and I made my own muffler. You can see where the welds are internally. Those are kind of how the baffles are laid out. We got the second one over there, so it's dual exhaust. Now, unlike the Haspin build that's full straight pipe, this is the Haspin build is kind of like a look at me, look how awesome I am, this thing rips kind of build. And the Mud Dynamark has always been like my main mower that I off-road with, so I didn't want it to be super loud, so that's why I didn't go straight pipe. And I didn't want it to be stock sounding either, so I didn't want to put more single cylinder mufflers on it, so I went ahead and built my own mufflers. I think they sound pretty decent. I'm happy with it, and it wasn't a waste of time. So